Hey, we're here and we're going to change front brakes on a 2008 BMW 328i. This is Mike. We've already done one side, and here we go for the other side.
First thing, make sure before you jack it up to break loose the bolts, make sure that you properly support with a jack stand so that you don't kill yourself. This is a 17 millimeter on the lug nuts. Since we don't have a lug nut wrench, we've already broken them loose on this side. Once you get the lug nuts off, you have to use an Allen wrench to be able to break loose the rotors, because as Julie forgot to mention, we're also changing the rotors.
Brakes and rotors.
Brakes and rotors. These ones are warped beyond repair.
And how do we know this?
Because of the pulsation through the steering wheel.
So when you're braking, and this is my daughter's little BMW that we got, and when she brakes, her steering wheel shakes like crazy, and so that's a sure sign. If your steering wheel is not shaking, but you're still feeling that pulsation, that's going to be the back ones, right?
You'll feel it in your butt more than anything. And so right here, 6 millimeter Allen wrench. You can find those written out right in there on your Allen wrench. That guy goes in there. Julie gets to step on the brakes, and I cheat and put a wrench on this guy like that to be able to loosen it up.
Okay, we'll come back to you in just a second. Okay, so explain that, I guess talk about, we got the Allen.
So you're gonna take your 6, pull this one out right here. That's gonna disconnect your caliper or your brake rotor from the hub. That just keeps it in place, since Volkswagen Beamers like those kind of lug nuts. So on the back side, we're going to use our 7 millimeter to disconnect our caliper from our brake slide, which I cannot think of the actual name for at the moment. But then we're going to use an 18 millimeter to take our mount off of our actual hub on the back. We've decided we're going to try something and see if we can make it work by removing everything together to make it go quicker. If I'm turning this the right way. Which would have been no, I was turning it the wrong way.
And so there's just 2 of those.
Yeah, one at the top, one at the bottom, both 18 millimeter.
And you'll be able to figure it out because it is mounted directly.
Yeah, it's mounted directly to the hub, and they're decent sized. So now we're going to pull our caliper off. You want to be careful not to stretch the hose too much on that. They're a little temperamental. So what we were going to try to do is save a single step, which I used to do all the time with the Ford.
Now talk about how you got those to squeeze, because when you...
Oh, yeah. So normally you'd pull this all apart and put a C-clamp through the middle and push your piston in the back all the way in.
Because those 2 brake pads are sandwiched pretty close together, right?
So we took our handy-dandy pliers here, since I don't have a flathead Phillips, and wedged in right at this corner and began to compress and compress. And then when we had enough room, put this guy in here, put that guy in there, pulled this way to compress, pushing this brake pad against here with the rotor stuck in the middle. So that saved us just a tiny bit of amount of time, but because I'm trying it this way, which may save us even more time, it's the whole reason we did it. And this side doesn't have the sensor on it. So on the opposing side, on the driver's side, you'll have this little wear sensor right here, mounted right here, like so. And as the brake pad wears down, that little nub on the center of this guy wears off, and it eventually makes contact with the 2 wires. This sensor then wraps around this way on the driver's side and mounts in this nice little plastic box in the back, right there.
Right there. And it's easy, you'll find it. And
it's stupid easy. You squeeze the clip on the top, on the other end I used the pliers, squeezed it this way, and then just pushed it clean out. And then we took a nice big set of channel locks to squeeze it back together because it didn't want to fit very easily, making life a little bit more easy. There's that. I don't know why there's not one on this side. You know, a Phillips head would have been a really good idea to grab for this tool set. Just saying.
So instead of taking this whole thing apart, what he's trying to do, like he said, is just take both brake pads out. And we've never done brakes on this car before, so we're
experimenting with a possible easier route. And no, these brake pads weren't really bad. They're actually quite...
They're about
half. But since we're changing the rotors out to stop that pulsation, we decided we might as well just change them out. I mean, yeah. They had another year or two on them, depending on how you drove. But we're in here, let's just get them done. And we already bought them. I think that's the biggest part.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not about throwing away money. Matter of fact, I'm all about saving money, hence why we are not at the dealership. So I'm pushing these springs on the back side, which I now lost where the other one was at. Old brake pad, oh, right here. So I'm pushing on these springs with this to be able to get them to drop inside the caliper hole, and it's not cooperating at all. I think we might have needed to pull that front off. I think we made a mistake trying it this way. But how else you gonna learn?
Yeah, it's close. All right.
Let's get this thing off of here. Nope. So now we're going to pull our 7mm caliper bolts off the back here, because we tried. You know what I'm going to have to do? Let's remount it.
Dang it.
I know. But hey, lesson learned.
Yeah, now you guys won't think the same thing where you can just kind of shortcut it. Because there's not necessarily a shortcut on this.
Yeah, it's completely possible to be done. It's just not worth the time it's taking. Oh my gosh, why won't this go in? So now that we got that back off, we're gonna just slide this guy in. And that's why you make sure to take the caliper off all the way. Because that's done. That's it for that side. This one What we're gonna do really fast, since we're right here, slide our caliper pins out. And we've got our caliper grease. Do not get this anywhere on any of the braking surfaces or the rotor. The old rotor, fine, go for it. The new ones, no. Because then you'll end up just overheating your calipers and your brake pads, because you'll be sliding on grease and applying excessive amounts of pressure. With lots of heat and pressure, we get what's called warping, which is what was going on with these ones.
That stuff generally comes with the new.
Generally, unless you buy the dirt cheap brake pads.
These we got at CarQuest just because we were there.
We were there. We're definitely a fan of O'Reilly's. We're definitely not a fan of AutoZone. They've done me dirty one too many times, and I've still gone back and gotten burnt again. So don't do, in my personal opinion, don't do AutoZone, ever. We're gonna put the new caliper or rotor on real fast.
Oh shoot. I didn't bring it over.
You didn't bring it over? So as with all new rotors, they already have a light coat of oil on them. We just discussed how oil in rotors are bad. So, you take your handy dandy brake cleaner, nice relatively clean paper towel, and it's a simple wipe down. That's it. Our nice little 6mm Torx or Allen head right back in there.
Can the old rotors be recycled, or what do you do with them?
It's 6 cents a pound for steel.
So, darn it.
If you're really close to a metal recycling location, definitely take them in, recycle them. It's better than going to the landfill. If you're nowhere near anywhere, they're gonna rust away in the landfill. Somebody there might eventually go driving through with one of those giant sized magnets and pull it all out. Which I don't think I've seen done over at West Jordan, Utah yet, since they have the landfill. All right.
And then
So
we're
that
just
guy's on. This guy goes back on with our bolts through right here.
And are we putting that front one on after you get that?
The front one.
The
top one?
The top one.
Yeah.
This one.
We're gonna drop this on. You'll see. Slow down. I gotta wipe off that brake pad because I touched it with my nasty thumb. Air tools are normally your friend. We don't have our setup down here yet. We most certainly will soon.
Hopefully.
I will go buy them myself if I have to. And we will stick them here and leave them here, because hopefully we're going to build a GTO.
Yes, and we can
We'll video
definitely show
every bit of that. I don't even know what year GTO it is, and I don't care. All
It's
I
gotta
know
be
is
a
that
60 something.
yeah, well, half of it's in there, and we're gonna build it up, and it's gonna be awesome. And we're just gonna tell your dad that we found it that way. Oh yeah, you could watch that dirt just fly right off.
So you see that one he just put directly on the rotor and then puts the caliper right over the top.
And then, all right, we're gonna do that after we get these suckers in. And then those nice bolts we greased up in the back.
What millimeter is that again that you use?
This one is a 6.
I don't know if I can
6
get
millimeter.
it back in there.
Yeah, right here. It's going right here, and that pin pushes right through into here. See, you got it.
Yep.
Close enough. And you just gotta lift and wiggle to get it into the right spot. Completely lied. It's 7 millimeters.
Oh. So, little fun fact with the BMWs, and even that's a 2007 Volkswagen Passat. When you're getting in or getting ready to get in your hot car, if you unlock it with the key fob and then you press and hold the unlock button, all the windows will roll down at once. Even on this one, it'll even open the sunroof if you hold it down long enough, which is pretty cool. And then when you get in to start it, it's not quite as hot. We're here in St. George, Utah, and this week it has gotten up to, I think the high was almost 110.
I thought we saw 111 yesterday.
Ah, okay, 111, and it's the first part of June. So, yeah, it gets plenty warm. And this black car with these black seats, oh my goodness, it's hot. So at least that
chilly.
helps.
It's so cold. I break out in these cold sweats. Isn't that what it's called?
Yes.
You definitely do not want to over torque when you're putting this stuff back on, but you don't want them too loose either.
If anybody knows
About
Mike,
too tight?
Mike loves everything very nice and tight.
I did not do that. Let's just...
So then you put on this little, I guess it'd be like a retainer clip of some sort.
Yeah, it's the retainer clip. Everybody
like
see
that.
how I just did that? If not, too bad. That thing sucks.
Rewind and you can watch it.
All right, fine.
No. I told them to rewind.
I'm like, watch. We'll just... This... Nope, it doesn't want to come out. It's stuck in. Nope, too bad. There's an actual lip. There's an actual lip right in there where it gets caught and stuck once you push it in. So you put the top one on, you drop the top spring, top clip, then you start pushing the bottom clip up and over, and then you have to push this guy back, and as soon as it drops in, it's stuck. Ha, now your phone's dirty. California Proposition 65, wear rubber gloves or some garbage like that. Brakes are done.
There we go.
Now let's put the tire on. This side didn't have the cool little sensor. That only took an extra, what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
I mean, I showed you how it clipped on, showed you where it went. Just make sure you route it the same way so that you don't damage it. Because if that wire gets cut, it tells you you need to change your brake pads. Because BMW's cool, I got made all their fun bells and whistles. And this is why I hate these ones. There we go. Because instead of having the nice little studs to
stick out
and hook on, you gotta balance it.
Line it
You
up.
gotta turn it slightly off. Now you gotta shake it around. Gotten a little good at it.
So he'll just hand thread those in there, and then we'll lower it, and then
You want to torque to your proper specs. Depending on your car, each one is different.
and
You
you're gonna do them you're gonna cross them. You know, how do you want to
Cross
explain
thread?
that?
Oh yeah, you're going to cross torque them. So what that means is we're going to start with the one I'm on right now, and then you're going to do a star pattern with this 5-star. You'll go from here to here to here to here to here, or you can go from here to here to here to here to here and back. So any star pattern, if it's a 6-lug, you do your triangle and then your triangle. If it is a 4-lug, you just go 1, 2, 3, 4.
There you go. All right, so that took us a matter of like 30 minutes, I guess, total to do this side.
Told you it was going to only be about an hour.
Yeah. All right, thanks for watching. Subscribe.